Right, I think it's probably time to start. Welcome everyone, welcome. My name is Jonathan, and this is the second part of tonight's event, which is the panel discussion. It's going to be very informal in a panel discussion format, as you can see. And again, thank you very much for coming tonight. And tonight is a very special night for celebrating our 10th anniversary for this young organization, which is 10 years old, the University of Auckland Chinese Alumni. Even though we're 10 years old, but we have a lot of potential to grow in the next 20, 30 years, and we will never achieve that without your help. So, firstly, thank you very much for coming tonight. Thank you. 很荣幸今天站在这里主持澳大华人校友会10周年的纪念活动。10年了，每年我们都从那个进口走到台前，连续做了10年，每年都有一个 event。今年很特别，10周年，咱们总说人生最惜同窗日，白首难忘共度时。希望今天在座的老朋友、新朋友，你们不光能够打开沉重的记忆，也能够从4位嘉宾 panel discussion 当中有多多的收获。谢谢大家。Alright, so I'll keep it mostly in English. So first thing first, I would like to thank our organizer for tonight, which is the University of Auckland Alumni Relation, the Business School Alumni Relation, and the Chinese Alumni team. Thank you. Without everyone here, this could never happen. Thank you very much. And next, I would like to thank our lovely sponsors. Well, I can't express how appreciative I am to all of them. 非常感谢今天晚上的赞助商，你们一如既往的支持校友会的活动，在这里非常感谢你们一如既往的支持。那我现在来介绍一下我们今天的赞助商。Well, we have Caring Clinic， 您信赖的家庭医生 ，On Design， 新西兰室内设计 ，PV Property 集团 AMP Capital 旗下购物中心御用设计师，晴朗移民 Ysquared Education and Immigration， 移民留学一路晴朗。Zero, do business is beautiful with cloud accounting software. VIP Hire，VIP 华人租车公司 VIP 明星首选服务接待车队。玛雅烧烤，玛雅 Barbecue， 现穿现卖，东北血炭烧烤。I'm a big fan of barbecue, and I'm here saying confident, tastes good, because we tested it out the other night. Alton Gift, thank you, Alton Gift, thank you very much for all your support over the year. New Zealand's largest tourist retailer, operating 365 days a year, have stores all over New Zealand. And this year happens to be their 40th year, also a big year for them, and they're keeping business. Thank you very much. Treasure Tech, 珍宝科技数字营销专家 ，Your Digital Marketing Expert. Wendy Loo, 买房找 Wendy. And Alex Wong, and congratulations, Alex, on your getting the prize. That was a big one. Good friend of mine, my colleague back in B&Z for almost 10 years. Your trusted financial advisor, Alex Wong Consulting, 您一站式的财务合作伙伴。谢谢以上赞助商，谢谢大家。Oh, wow, our lovely media sponsors. With your support, everyone around the world can see us, can hear us, and can join us, make us better and better. The media, the power. So namely, Sky TV 新西兰天美网 Panda TV TV37 The Mandarin Page 华业后花园.com 后花园 Sam, thank you. Yes Women 女人世界澳纽网 AusNZ.net. Thank you very much for all the media support. With your help, this goes all over the world. Thank you. 说太多了，介绍一圈儿，下面给介绍一下今天 panel 的嘉宾。Well, next I'm gonna introduce the panel speaker, our lovely guest speaker for tonight. They represent different industries. They're coming from different industries, possess different expertise. We have lawyers, social media, technology, accountancy, and venture capital investment, you name it. They've been with industry for a long time, long time. Oh, in fact, some of them make some other business look young because they've been with the business for almost 40 odd years. And tonight, this is all about sustainable business, how to grow Chinese business sustainably in New Zealand. And surely we'll learn one thing or two from them tonight. All right. Firstly, Arthur Loo. Sir, how are you today?
Well, thank you.
Thanks for helping the prize was cool. That was good.
Very good.
Arthur Loo, the partner and co-founder of Loo Koo in 1995, one of the best law firms in New Zealand. Wow, 40 odd years in the industry. Arthur is an executive board member of New Zealand China Council, also holds executive and leadership roles in a number of community and sporting organizations. Arthur was also awarded the New Zealand 1990 Commemoration Medal in recognition of the service to New Zealand, and also rewarded the Queen's Service Medal for service to the Chinese community in 2012. Ladies and gentlemen, a strong, warm round of applause for Arthur. Thank you. And next we have Marisa. How are you, Marisa? Thanks for coming. Marisa, the director of Masimaya Limited, a boutique consulting company, a holding company for angel investment portfolio. She was also one of the co-founders of Medicine Group back in 1998. She's currently a non-executive independent director of a listed company, an advisory board member for NZ Work, New Zealand Work Research Institute, an advisory board member for Whitley, a category judge for New Zealander of the Year. Marisa also holds membership in Global Women, Institute of Directors, NZ Asian Leader, and Angel Investment Group. So, Marisa, what's the latest? Is it the RNA?
Yes. Because I love the business of business, we are now working on RNA skincare. It's my next project.
Wow, lovely. So, RNA will be launching soon in 2020. And all natural anti-pollution skincare in conjunction with NZ Crown Research Institute. Let us begin with this short video. Sorry, must admit we have some technology. Hang on a second. Sorry, guys. really to talk to you about that. You know about anti-pollution skincare, the PM 2.5, you know. I was born and raised in Beijing, and China used to be a little bit pollutional. The skin, you know, if you stay there for a couple of months, you get to feel your skin is dry and, you know, not feeling so great. And with this, I hope, you know, make everyone better. All right, another round of applause for Marisa Fong. All right, next, our old friend, Sam. Sam, how are you since the coming today? Sam, the founder and director of wholegarden.com, was also the CTO, Chief Technology Officer for One Roof. In Whole Garden, I'm pretty sure everyone here know about them. It's an internet-based technology and media company launched in Auckland in 2011, almost 10 years. And today, they are one of the most influential professional Chinese information platform in New Zealand. I say that in confidence because I found my first home from their website. And almost 10 years in business, and they surely can share some insight about being sustainable in the business. And ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Sam, please. All right, last but not least, Rachel. Thank you. Thanks for hosting this 10 years as well, helping and organize this alumni event as well. Rachel, the founder and the director of Ysquared Chartered Accountants, Ysquared Education. And as you all know, Rachel is also our founder for the Chinese Alumni Club. And Ysquared Chartered Accountant received, received a number of business awards and achievements over the last couple of years, especially the recent one with Westpac Business Award. And what's the new gig? Is it the AML Business Service?
Trusted AML.
Trusted AML Service. So you're trusted tax and AML financial services. And ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Rachel. Thank you. All right, I better stop here and pass the mic to Rachel to start the panel discussion tonight, because that's really the main thing.
Thank you, Jonathan. That was very entertaining.
I'm sorry. Everyone scan this, what do you call it?
QR code.
The QR code. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Scan the QR code. If you got any questions, you can post it in the group, and we will address them at the end. Right? Thank you.
Yeah, if one of them more than 100, then probably scan the second one, because I think the QR code only allows like 100 people, and then we can have to manually pull people in. But anyway, thank you, Jonathan. On behalf of the University of Auckland Chinese Alumni team, thank you for joining us for the panel discussion. And for the latecomers, this is the real cool part of this whole event, because you can learn a lot of information from some well-known business people in New Zealand. This year's topic is how Chinese business can achieve sustainability in New Zealand. And I'm just the moderator, so I will be asking questions to Marisa, Arthur, and Sam, and they will be answering the questions. And I'm just and if you have any questions, feel free to put your question in the panel discussion group, and then we can ask it together. So it's going to be a live session. So for those who missed the first part of the celebration, the University of Auckland Chinese Alumni is the non-profit organization under the umbrella of the University Alumni Relation that provides extensive help and support to the graduates and current students. In the past, we've organized 5 entrepreneurship series seminars and panel discussions. So this year is the 6th one. And thanks Arthur, Marisa, and Sam for joining us this year for the panel discussion. Sustainability is often confused with corporate social responsibility. So a sustainable business is any organization that participate in environmental friendly or green activity to ensure all process, product and manufacture activity adequately address current environmental concern while maintaining a profit. In other words, it is a business that meets the needs of the present world without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So this is just a definition from the website. So in case anyone not familiar what we're going to talk about with why sustainability. So I believe many of you, some of you might still be millennials, which born in 1981 and to 1996, and Generation Z, which is born in 1996 to 2011. So, like for the new generations, it has become like more important for them to find an employer who actually has, a good brand image, has a good corporate responsibility, and and then their business can contribute to the community and become a sustainable business. So this year, that's why we asked one of the 3 industrial leaders to come to speak at the event and share their insights of what is a sustainable business like. And hopefully you can take away, and one day you can start your own business and working towards a sustainable business. So I'm going to start the first question. So do you think sustainability what do you think sustainability means, and how do you interpret the terms of running business in New Zealand? Do you want to start, Marisa?
Sure. So I interpret sustainability in its broadest sense. So if I look at the word sustainability, for me, it's not just about environment, it's actually about the business. So is the business an enterprise that can continue in a planned way? Is it formed for the long term with resources that are available and ongoing? Does it know harm? And positively contributes to all the stakeholders. So the stakeholders are not just your customers, but your suppliers, your shareholders, your employees, and yourself. So that whole group has to be positively served.
Well, look, I'm in a similar fashion, and I noticed that the Vice Chancellor just walked in, so good evening, Vice Chancellor. Look, I'm like Marisa, I want to interpret the word sustainability in a wider sense. I mean, running a law office, our biggest consumable is paper, and while we're conscious or conscientious about not wasting paper and recycling paper and maybe printing on 2 sides where possible, that's only a limited amount of what we can do in terms of, if you interpret sustainability in an environmental way. For me, sustainability is to try and create a business that endures. I'm very conscious that, our staff members are reliant on us, on each other, for their livelihood. I take a sort of familial view to our staff, and I do care for their well-being, even though I run the practice on the basis of the Netherlands dictatorship. Look, it's to really try and create something that will endure. We're not here for the short term, and my firm in particular has been around for 24 and a half years, and we hope to go for at least that or triple that. We try to make the business sustainable by, looking at the people we employ, looking at our business practices, looking at our skills, and the way that we deliver our service, because we appreciate very much that, like any other professional person, the consumer, the client has a choice, and we try to make them choose us because of our skills and the way that we interface with the client.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Sam. I think I'm the only person can allow me to speak in Chinese. So if I can say any confused phrase, I will say directly in Chinese. But the first question about the sustainability, actually, I'm happy today to share the story about Ho Garden. Ho Garden was founded in the year 2011. So at that time, we worked with all the major agencies across the whole New Zealand and helping the developers, agents to target into the Chinese market. Very, very niche market. Because of, as I'm not born in New Zealand. I came to New Zealand about 20 years ago. I totally understand a lot of you also entrepreneur and find some difficulty to get into the market. But the whole garden story is we probably find a very niche market at the beginning. So that's what we targeted to the Chinese buyer at that time. And also we never overvalue the Chinese market. We always discuss with agents to say the Chinese buyer is an important part of the market at that time. So that's really helping the whole garden to get into the market at that time, about 10 years ago when the market is growing up. And also in the last after that, we are not only developing the site, but also we really spend a lot of time to get into the industry to understand how the data processed, to working closely with the agent developers, and also working with the council, to also working with New Zealand education to get the school information and all the NZ place to get all the crime rates on the site. So which is in the last about 9 years, we really spent a lot of time to developing the site, working on the data. So we and 3 years ago we start we have changed the way, not only targeting to the Chinese buyer, but also some stage we joint venture with NDE and launched One Roof, and that's a very successful a joint venture business. At that time we are running except Ho Garden. So my advice is that for sustainability, is always you must have a very short-term strategy, but also you have to looking at some of the long-term strategy, how you can integrate or doing some of the mainstream. That's very very important. 中文来讲的话，其实后花园的话，我们那个时候刚开始的时候，其实是非常的一个 niche market。但是的话呢，我们的经验是什么呢？就是说，如果是确实是做 niche market 的时候，确实很多时候我们可能target是一个中华人市场，或者一些小众的市场。但是我觉得这一部分的话呢，能够帮着像我们这种小的公司来讲，从一开始的时候，非常的就是花了很多精力去研究数据。然后呢，研究整个的市场的一些 insight， 然后在这个过程中积累了很多的一些经验。那么的话呢，等到我们7年之后，当时做的英文地产平台的时候的话，我们非常成功的把它出售给了新西兰的一家上市公司 NVME， 然后这也是One Roof的一个前身。所以那个时候我们的转型也是非常非常的艰难，但是的话呢，那个时候我就觉得作为一个华人的创业者来讲，其实我们并不想给自己贴标签，我更喜欢可能是我们这种草根的这种创业，因为毕竟我们也是从家里面的社会里面1个人2个人，现在当然后花园整个40多个人的团队也是一步一步做起来的。但是的话呢，有的时候我们跟我们经常这些朋友在分享的时候，也是在说到了这个，就是有的时候我们可能 start your business and find the niche market。But always thinking outside of your current market and thinking about some of the scope externally and also looking at the mainstream market. That's very important for the Chinese entrepreneurs in New Zealand. Otherwise, initially we all found very difficulty to get in some of the industry at the beginning. 那个时候确实我是觉得这是后花园那个，当然后花园3年之前我们做了英文的，然后呢现在跟 NAB 这种合作。我们继续做研发，然后继续的去把英文地产平台去做出来。所以这个对于我们的很多的时候，可能对于我个人来讲的话呢，也是更多的一些启发，就是我们在任何的时候都要可能会不光考虑我们现有的一些状态，并不是一个短期的 strategy， 而更多 looking forward some of the long-term strategy. How you can how you change the at some stage change the market and looking at the mainstream.
Thank you, Marisa Fong. So, second question is, what's your strategy for your business on developing and maintain a sustainable business in terms of the triple bottom line. So the triple bottom line is in relation to social, economic, environmental.
Okay, so the triple bottom line approach. So my strategy is to make sure that the business is firstly financially viable, because otherwise it can't deliver anything else. So as the saying, I heard the saying not long ago, don't burn yourself to keep others warm. So you need to be in a good position first, and that is financially viable. So make sure that services and product that you are wanting to launch to the market solves a real problem, and that people are willing to pay for the solution. So I see many businesses launching that people have a very good idea in their minds. One of the ones that I saw many years ago on television were cat beds that could become funeral caskets for the cat. So you ask yourself, who wants a cat bed that their cat will sleep in, or a pet that their pet will sleep in this bed, and then one day when it dies, you put it in that bed and you bury it, or you burn it. So he had a good idea, but no one wanted to buy it. You understand then that he was not solving any kind of problem. He just thought it was a good idea. Unfortunately, no one else did. So he wasted a lot of time and money on this solution that he thought people would buy. So firstly, understand that you are solving what problem and that people will pay for it. Then I guess it's really articulating, and I think this is something for, I'm not sure, the Chinese community, we culturally have this is talked about a lot, I understand, in the European community. So I ask the question of you, do you define the company's values? What are your values and purpose of your business? So once you understand the company values, and often they are values of yourself, you as the founder, and then from that you create company culture. If you have a bad company culture, which is poor morale, no one is happy, then it doesn't matter whether you have nice corporate social responsibility policies, no one will execute on them because no one will care. So first you need a good company culture where people care enough about what you are doing, that they care enough to follow the leader's behaviours and example they set. So if you're setting a poor example, it doesn't matter what you have on the wall, it doesn't matter what you say, people will just see what you do. So it's important you have understanding that we have good company culture, this is what we stand for, this is what we say we do, and this is what we do. Otherwise, no problem.
Do you have anything to add, Arthur?
When Ken Koo and myself started Loo Koo nearly 25 years ago, we decided that the time was right for a legal practice where we could speak to our clients in their own language. And so we recruited people who had a command of Mandarin and Cantonese, but we also determined that in terms of our legal skills and abilities, that we would not take a second step to any of the main firms in Queen Street. So to do that, we said that we, in terms of our English ability, our correspondence, our English had to be spot on. So we spoke English to each other in the office, but Chinese only to our clients. And in that way, we built up our skills in being able to, I guess, communicate or debate with other of our colleagues, because English is our words are our tools of trade in the law. So in doing so, I think we developed a reputation for our ability to be able to handle things, but to also be able to deal with our Kiwi brethren in a strong way, if you like, for want of a better word. So but now because the practice of law has all sorts of other implications, and lawyers are expected to do their bit for the community. I've always been involved in non-profit enterprises, committees, sports clubs, charities. I've done quite a lot of that, and also in relation to some of our clients. I don't want anybody to think that I'm the Department of Social Welfare, but we do sometimes take a kindly view to people who have a pressing problem but aren't in a position to pay a full fee. So, that's part of our, corporate social responsibility, if you like, even though we're a relatively small firm. We're not like, the huge corporates where, they generate huge incomes and can therefore, do more for the community. So, it's always been our ethos to do our bit, consistent with the need to make a profit and pay our staff and pay the rent.
So I'm also working as a CTO at One Roof. So actually we both Hogarden and One Roof is a online internet business. But actually from internally we never treat Hogarden as like an online business, because we believe the internet didn't really, after a few years, we can't what is offline, what is online. But the most important is we are running a community, a user group. So that's in the last few years, Hogarden and One Roof also spend a lot of time, to develop some of the user group, to understand what's the feature, what the function that people usually want to use during when they search the property, when they want to find more professional information on the site. And also like in Chinese community, when they search the property, the school zone is very important. And for the Kiwi search, when they're looking for the rental property, the commute, how far away from their workplace, that's also very important. So because we are running a very successful user group for our, collecting some of the requirements, and also using the user group to do some of the testings, that really helping the business to grow. So in that case, we are in the long-term strategy that the social or the user group, user communities is very important for our business. It's no matter whether it's online or offline, but you are looking at the provided service or the product to the users, which is the targeted user, how to set up some of the good relationship between your service or product with your targeted user is very key. It's a key to your success.
Thank you, Sam. So, just to phrase that, so Marisa mentioned about financial viability. So having a business is about solving a problem. It's not all about making money, making a profit. So if you can solve a problem, normally it will help you to gain your financial profit as well. And also value of business is very important. So if you are as an entrepreneur, leader of your business, have a good value in yourself and then pass on to the company, then the company will have a good culture and good value. And running a business is very about running a community. So if the business is going well, and you need to make sure the community is going well as well. So I see the difference. There's a lot of difference between how Chinese business operate in New Zealand and the traditional Kiwi business operating in New Zealand. So, with your observation, it's doing business for a Kiwi and also to deal with a lot of Asian business as well. What sort of reason? What do you think was the difference, and why there's a difference? And do you see any advantage or disadvantage for the Chinese business?
I'm conscious of time, so I think I see that Sam's been thinking about this, so I'll give to Sam.
I read a paper last month in regarding to a search happened, the search study in the United States, which is they say all the immigrant start the business have a much more higher rate than the local US-based population. And almost like the rate is doubled. So actually, as I treat myself as a new immigrant to these countries. So as the immigrant entrepreneurs, there are some of the elements regarding the risk taker, looking for the opportunities, and also the hard working. I think that's all the advantage as the entrepreneurs. But also on the US study showing that a lot of entrepreneur or immigrant business getting heavily involved with, they call it Main Street business, which is the Main Street business normally fall into 3 different categories. One is retail, second is the food service or accommodation, and also the third one is normally the neighborhood business, which is like a barber shop or some of the local shop. But if you're looking at really those 3 big industries, which is a lot of immigrant entrepreneurs are getting involved, actually they are the state of the future economic development, and which is for the challenge part is how can the entrepreneurs or the immigrant entrepreneurs to transform those business into a much more attracting areas, which is running a good neighborhood. I think that's a very interesting topic that we can carry on. But as I mentioned, that happened in the US. That report showing which is the immigrant entrepreneur do have a much higher rate. To start business has a much higher rate than the local owned population, which is that I think that's a good advantage. For New Zealand, I think we say a lot of I know a lot of friends networking, so they are getting involved with also some of the business. But the challenging part is how can we run out of the school, which is thinking more wider way, looking at using some of the technology to change the way we do the business. I think it's critical in the next stage. Like Hogarden, we are building the platform, but also spend a lot of time on IT and working on the data. I think that's to thinking the way, to change the way, how can we transform the current business into a much more attracting areas. I think that's the key for us.
In terms of business culture, I think in our office, we are largely Asian, not only Chinese but Korean, Japanese, and we've got some non-Chinese staff as well. I think the culture of the office is probably a little bit different, a bit more collaborative. I think, certainly the Asian staff are a bit more differential to the bosses, I think, which is not a bad thing, in my view. But yeah, I think we're probably maybe a bit more collaborative. I mean, I think the Asian culture is just a little bit less confrontational, less direct speaking. I find that the staff, don't often sort of speak their mind in terms of other things that maybe not are impacting on the business. We don't often, get into argument or discussions where, it is a robust discussion about certain things. The staff room generally, I think, avoids sort of confrontation. So I don't necessarily see it as a disadvantage or an advantage. I think it's just a different way people are.
Thanks, Arthur. So I'm conscious of the time as well. So there's a couple of questions in the WeChat group, entrepreneurs. So there's a question related to the relationship between sustainability and innovation. So Sam, I think you covered. Do you have any more to add on to it? What's the relationship between sustainability and innovation?
where's Ken?
Okay, see us grab a gift, like of your choice. Because whoever asks the question will get a gift. You can come to collect after. So you're
As the IT industry, people always talking about innovation, disruptive, some of the traditional business, which is I do have very different view of that kind of topic. 用中文来讲的话，其实从事 IT 的话，我们经常都会说到颠覆或者是一些创新。其实有的时候我是感觉的话呢，可能这种思路是对的，作为一个 startup 一个 new business。但是可能会在新西兰的话，有的时候这个市场并没有我们想象的那么的足够让人去颠覆，足够让人去搞这创新的。其实某种意义上来讲，我看很多非常成功的 business， 他们的一些非常 solid， 也就是说，比如说我们现在在做房产，在做汽车，给新西兰的大概有200多个车行提供了一个 CRM 系统的，是一个新西兰的 base 的一个做 CRM 的系统。他们非常稳定，所以有的时候我感觉的话呢，某种意义上来讲，在新西兰做 sustainability 的时候，可能更多的大家要考虑 to business。So that's why I'm talking about some of the IT industry. People always talking about innovation and disruptive, but some stage I think in New Zealand probably it's not a good country or the market that's always thinking that way. But instead of looking at what the current market, how to change the current business model is very how to helping the existing business to do a better job. That might be a interesting or some of the opportunities for entrepreneurs. There's one example that's to providing the CRM software for the car industry. They have been on the market for 10 years. A lot of big franchises like Mercedes, BMW, Toyota, all using their software, and they do providing a much better service and product, which is it's very hard for a lot of new business to get into that industry, and it's not like a very solid. They have very solid business model. The reason is they are not really targeting to looking at some of the innovation or disruptive. They provide the service to to those business, and that is very strong relationship can make the business much more sustainability. Which is I think if any of you have because we are all in a different industry. If we can find some have better understanding about your industry, and also thinking the way how can we use the IT to change the way that traditional business do, but instead of really disruptive or have much more common or innovative way to do the business. You might have a much more solid starting point when you start your own business.
Thank you, Sam. So for those of us that's not an IT person, do you consider any other ways like collaborate with other businesses outside of the industry for great sustainability? And also it's also kind of IC's question on how entrepreneurs can take advantage and leverage on other people on New Zealand market. So
Okay, sure. So we're launching a new skincare product, right? So it's really to help people protect their skin from PM 2.5. And really we're addressing the air pollution problem, and then we're really having to think about, do people understand what the damage is? So when we look at collaborating with partners, we have to look at people that actually get that whole air pollution as a health problem. So if we were to collaborate with partners, which is what we will actually be looking at when we launch, it'll make sense for us to partner with people that really work in that space. So face masks, everyone knows about the face masks, filtering out the lead and the poisons. We would look to collaborate with those guys. Also, really damages things like anti-aging, what happens to the skin and also to your lungs. So we would look at really working with partners in that space. And I think if you're looking to collaborate with anyone, you need to look at who are the natural partners that work alongside, but not only that, who are brand proximity to you. So if you are a premium brand, you have to be very careful who you align yourself to. Because if you're aligning yourself to brands that are not premium, then you get brand reflection. So just being very careful who you partner with, that they are aligned to your values and your positioning in the market. So that is what we look at. We'll be looking at approaching premium brands, understanding who they're serving, they understand that they're about the pollution problem and that they're a natural fit. So I think when you look at a collaboration, really be quite thoughtful about it. Often when you're successful, especially when you're new, people will come to you and they want to partner with you, and a lot of people when you're new, you're just happy that someone recognises your business and thinks, yes, I want to partner with you, and then only find later that actually it was not the right thing to do, because maybe your demographic is different, your customer base is different, and suddenly you might have cheapened your brand, or you made the brand too expensive. You need to be thinking about that.
Do you have anything to add?
The one that about 2 weeks ago, I came back from China, attended the Alibaba conference. They call it Yunxi Dahui. Just more talking about it from the IT industry. Actually, in China or globally, some of the IT have been changed the way the thinking. Like in the last probably 10 to 20 years, a lot of IT has been targeting on the end consumer. 所以我们所谓的这种消费级的消费级的这种互联网产品。但是的话呢，在过去的这2年里边，其实最终我发现很多的这种消费级的互联网产品，并没有真正的能够做到 sustainability。其实我们有时候看到国内的，有时候我们可以看到国内的这种滴滴或者包括这种国内的一些新的平台，包括共享单车，还有当然了，确实也有成功的，但是很多的这种消费级的互联网产品的话呢，在过去的这15年到20年的发展里边，很难验证它的一个可成功性。但是相反的话，最近的这2年，国内有一种在讲的是一种叫产业互联网。什么是产业互联网呢？比如说，在过去的这10年到15年的话，我们比如说人工智能、大数据、云端，确实这些基础的建设，帮助在协助的这种它的一些基础的建设已经非常成熟了。但是呢，最终发现在用户的这种消费级的这种用户的终端市场的话呢，很难把它做成一个比较转换成这种比如 profit， 或者是转成一个 sustainability 的一个 perspective。但是在终端的在这种产业级的互联网，就刚才我们有举了一个例子，包括这个 car industry， 他们其实 provide 这个 CRM service to this car industry。其实某种意义上来讲，现在国内这种产业级的互联网现在正在发展非常迅猛的。就是我们知道马云爸爸提出的是新零售，但是其实新零售的概念并不是说只是简单的一个targeting the consumer to change the way how to buy the product online or offline。它其实新零售的这个概念更多的是面向的是一些面对的是一些商家，然后提供的是一些我们之前传统意义上来讲。就是说，比如说一些帮助商家去做更好的一些优化，包括他们的产品的选择。因为的话呢，可以举一个简单的例子，我们这次在那个云栖大会上，那个阿里巴巴跟李宁有一个非常好的一个 integration。当时的话呢，在李宁的李宁是因为李宁在那个上海、杭州有100多家店，然后呢，他们在每一家店里面的话有那个家长他们是主要是李宁的鞋嘛。每个鞋后面，每个架子后面都有一个 camera， 然后这个 camera 呢其实是进行人脸识别的，它可以完全 recognize 你的这个对这个鞋的一个喜爱程度，喜欢还是不喜欢，还是包括它的 engage 这部分的。那么呢，当你从你架子上拿下这个鞋来之后，然后它们后端的终端电脑就开始进行计算了。当然了，我们有时候就感觉这个科技确实是挺神奇的，但是确实它已经在 offline 的这种场景下运用了很多的，但是它并不是最终的话是。帮着我们所谓的这个因为本身这个业务来讲，对于用户对于这种买鞋的人来讲没有什么促进的作用，但是这种数据收集上来之后，通过大的数据，当他有1家店1个人看一双鞋，但是有600多家店，然后整个的横跨了整个全国的话， 这么多店，然后这么多人的数据，对于某种来讲，这种是帮助 business 在做一个 better decision。所以呢，这只是一个 example 作为一个产业互联网的这种新零售的概念去介入的。所以当时我们有的时候在想，其实新西兰我们有华人经常在做一些，比如说创新的或者一些颠覆的一些行业，包括现在外卖啊，很多这个行业，其实从在我眼里呢，其实真正的有一些时候，可能我们华人如果是entrepreneur 或 start up business 的话 ，think about the way how to helping the local business or traditional business to grow, to helping them to do some marketing, or some of integration, or some of ERP system. That's very, very, very critical in the next 5 years.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think this has come to the end of the panel discussion. If you've got any questions, please feel free to talk to our panel speakers at the near working after this event. And now we're going to have some very important. I'll give the mic to Jonathan to introduce our very important speaker.
Thank you. Well, firstly, give another round of applause for our guest speaker today. Thank you, Marisa. Thank you, Arthur. Yeah, I'm going to say that people who left early really missed out, because when I was sitting over there, I saw a gentleman sit quietly on the back behind me. I'm going to turn my head around and go, oh my God, here's the Vice Chancellor. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and give a warm welcome for our Vice Chancellor, sir. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll get my man here who's got my notes. Good evening. It's a great pleasure to be here tonight and to celebrate with you this important anniversary. First of all, I should apologise for the fact that I was late. We were at the meeting of the University Council today that is setting the fees for students. Maybe not something you're so interested in anymore, being alumni, but we were setting fees and we were having a big discussion about the pastoral care of our students, particularly after the rather unfortunate event recently at Canterbury University. And we're also discussing and approving the construction of a new 900-bed hall of residence for our students. So it has been a very significant meeting of the council, which explains why I was late getting here, and now why I am, I think, the only thing that stands between you and food and drink. So I'm going to be reasonably brief. What I've been asked to do today is to give you a little bit of an update on the state of the university, where things are at with your university and some of our recent developments. And I'm very happy to say, for those of you who might not have been in touch with the university a lot lately, that the University of Auckland is in really good heart and really good shape and is doing things very well. The first thing that's a reflection of that is that our enrolments remain very strong. Demand for places at the university is strong among both domestic and international students. Domestic growth a little bit slow because the number of New Zealand domestic students leaving high school ready to go to university is the lowest it has been for many, many years. This is just a demographic dip. Not enough people were having babies 18 years ago, basically. So the number of domestic students has been levelling off, but the number of international students has been growing very rapidly. We have increased our number of international students by about 30% over the last 5 years, and now about 8,500 of our students are international. So a tremendously vibrant community of international students among the 32 or 33,000 domestic students. We've continued to do very well in the rankings. We've risen again in the Times Higher World Rankings to 179, so we're within the top 9 universities in Australasia. And in the QS rankings of subjects, the New Zealand universities were ranked in 42 different subjects or disciplines in the last year, and of those 42 disciplines, the University of Auckland came top in 37 out of the 42. So ranked number 1 in New Zealand for 37 of 42 disciplines. And that's impressive, 37 out of 42, that's a pretty good number. But I should point out that of the 5 that we weren't ranked first in New Zealand, we don't actually teach 2 of them at all. So we don't teach veterinary science and dentistry, and so that means that of the subjects that we do teach, we were ranked top in 37 out of the 40. We were also ranked number 1 in the world in the new Times Higher ranking for contributions to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And the panel were talking about sustainability a few minutes ago. Times Higher people who do one of the international rankings that you will know about have gone through and looked at how each university contributes to the UN Sustainable Development Goals and has ranked the University of Auckland number 1 in the world for that contribution, particularly because of what we do in medical and health sciences, but also because of our work in education, in creating a more equitable society, and creating opportunities for all people to go to university and to benefit from that experience. The government's just finished an analysis of research capability in New Zealand, a thing called the PBRF, Performance-Based Research Fund, in which they evaluate every academic in the country. And again, we have topped the PBRF nationally, but more importantly, in the last 6 years, as they do the evaluation every 6 years, we have added 100 top-grade researchers to this university. And it's very hard, as you know, to attract top researchers from overseas, and it's very time-consuming to grow your own researchers. And so to add 100 of the highest-ranked researchers in the country to the University of Auckland over the last 6 years, I think is a tremendous performance. So very pleased about the way all that is going. We're also spending a lot of money, as you might have seen, around the campus, upgrading our teaching and learning environment. Now, can I ask, were any of you residents of Grafton Hall when you were students? One lady over here? No, you're not sure. Big one up on the hill. Okay, well, I'm glad. Who's in charge of the machine? You're in charge. You're in charge of the machine. I'm in charge of the machine. Nobody's in charge of the machine. Okay, here we go. So I'm glad that none of you are in Grafton Hall because we've knocked it down. And in its place, Grafton Hall was a big old Ministry of Works building from the 1970s up by the Med School at Ringabel, big tall tower. Well, we've knocked it down because it was an earthquake risk, and this is the new Grafton Hall, which we opened in the last year, on that same site adjacent to the Faculty of Medical and Health Sciences, and that provides an additional 100 beds of accommodation, primarily for first-year students, and particularly students who are in that part of the campus doing medically related subjects. We're building a lot of new halls of residence. This is Waiparuru Hall. If you go up the motorway by the Fine Arts School, by Elam, this is a new hall of residence. This is actually an artist's rendition, but I'm very happy to say that the actual building looks quite a lot like this too, only it isn't yet finished, but we are anticipating having that finished at the start of next year. The ground floor is all the student facilities. It actually goes down into a basement floor as well. And then you have the 2 towers of student accommodation providing 760 additional beds of accommodation for students. Because every bed that we create, we find that we're able to attract a very good student either from within New Zealand or from overseas. Did any of you go to the engineering school? Oh dear. So we've knocked that down too. And so the wing of the engineering school that was out over the motorway, the side furthest away from Simon Street is no more. And here is the new engineering building. This is looking from outside this building across Grafton Road. And you can see the right-hand part of the picture there on the far right is the original building on Simon Street. And the new wing on the left-hand side here is just being finished, 11 stories of new engineering building, and that's to accommodate the fact that our engineering numbers are growing very rapidly, because the New Zealand government has recognised that in contrast to many countries, we have a shortage of engineers and therefore of the kinds of innovation that engineers can bring to us. Did any of you go to the rec centre when you were students? Oh dear. Because we're about to knock that down too. You see, everything you went to we're getting rid of. This is the new Recreation and Wellness Centre that will be built on the site of the existing rec centre. So this is looking from Simon Street, essentially if you had your back to the engineering building and you're looking across Simon Street to the current site. This is the new rec centre, which we're about to start the enabling works and the demolition. And this will be about 3 times the size of the current rec centre, and it will open in about 4 years' time. Now I know the answer to my next question. Did any of you ever go to Shadow's Bar when you were students? See, all of you didn't put your hands up, you're only telling fibs, I know that, because every student goes to Shadows and we're about to demolish Shadows as well. The reason, this is terrible, I know, the reason for demolishing Shadows is that out the back of this building, towards Princes Street, will be a new pool, a swimming pool, diving pool, and in order to do that we have to demolish Shadows. But you'll be pleased to know that a new Shadows Bar will be constructed next to where the Maidment Theatre used to be as part of the Student Centre complex. So you can see that a lot of investment going in to bring our facilities up to the quality that you would expect from an international university, and that's a process that I'm sure will continue. The other major thing that we've been doing is running a very significant fundraising campaign for the university, a campaign referred to as the Campaign for All Our Futures. And here I should acknowledge Arthur Loo, who's on our campaign board. And we set out to raise $300 million for the university to provide new scholarships for domestic and international students and to support new research activities to bring in new academics. That campaign will close in about a month. And we will have a major event here on the 21st of November, at which we will celebrate the close of the campaign and acknowledge our donors. And about 7,000 donors have given to the campaign over the last 6 years, with a median gift of about $100, so a lot of modest-sized donations, and the highest gift so far, interestingly, from a recent immigrant to New Zealand from China, a $10 million gift to cancer research. So we're getting fantastic support for the campaign, and we need to do that because although we can run the university on our basic government funding, on student fees and the like, the really important things that we want to do, creating new scholarship opportunities for students, hiring top professors, and doing outstanding international research. These are the things that are being enabled by the campaign. Finally, I want to acknowledge your presence as alumni and the contribution that alumni make to this university. When I started here 15 years ago, we thought a bit under 100,000 alumni. We were in contact with some of them, but not very good contact with many. We began actually measuring the level of engagement of our alumni in 2014. At that time, about 25% of our 100,000 alums were in some kind of contact with the university. We have been very actively through the campaign, which has sought not only to fundraise but also to friend raise. We have very actively sought to engage with our alumni. Today we have 200,000 alumni, so because our number of graduates is growing rapidly, so too is our number of alums. 200,000 of alumni, and today 60% of them are engaged with the university in some way. Now that might be attending events like these, it might be volunteering to support the university, mentoring in the business school, taking part in some of our research, opening our publications, engaging with us through social media, a whole lot of different ways in which our alumni are supporting the institution, and of course being significant numbers of donors to the campaign. That 60% is a very high figure. Very few universities internationally would be able to say that 60% of their alumni are actively engaged with the institution. And we are very pleased with that number, and we're very grateful to the alums who are engaged. So I just want to close by thanking you for being here tonight, thanking you for being with us over the 10 years that the association has been in existence, and I hope that you will feel that what the institution is doing is worthwhile and that you will continue to support the university because you are a very important part of this family. We need your support. We want you to continue to be engaged with us as the university moves into the future. I am, as you can see, very, very old, and I will retire as Vice-Chancellor from the university on the 15th of March. We have a new Vice-Chancellor from that date. Her name is Professor Dawn Freshwater. She is currently the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Western Australia. She's English by birth, and she is a Southern Hemisphere person by choice. She will be joining the university as our new Vice-Chancellor, and I hope that you will continue to give her and this institution the same support that you have given me and the University of Auckland during the time that I have been here. Thank you very much for being a part of this family. Stay with us.
Well, thank you very much. And a round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen, for the Vice-Chancellor. Thank you. We say that with confidence. Collectively, as alumni and Chinese alumni, we are proud to be the child of this university, and thank you for all the work you've done. And not down on the whole building there. Thank you. And we have some gift for the guest speakers that we didn't give a chance. And Vice-Chancellor as well, sir. And I think really sorry that we're running out of time. And everyone, we were going to have a little drink and network outside this room. And thanks for coming tonight. Richard, do you have anything to add on? Yes, sorry, the gift. Sure. And a gift for our lovely guest speakers. Thank you. And yes, so that's the end of tonight and end of the panel discussion. We'll have some drinks and nibbles outside this building, outside this room, and everyone is welcome to join us. Thank you once again. Thank you very much, guys. And some free gifts.